Good afternoon, or welcome to Apex Racing TV, Silverstone, iRacing Grand Prix Series, week number 4. I'm joined by Conrad Venter, Alex Simpson here. We're fresh off of watching the real-life Grand Prix. Do we do spoilers or don't we do spoilers? We'll keep it. Not as good as last week's race. We'll leave it at that, I would say, but kind of what we expected. But still, it was fun at the start.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't too bad, and but it's not over yet. Without, like I said, delivering any spoilers, the party is set to continue for after the race, with maybe an investigation or two.
These after race investigations always make it a bit more interesting. Of course, we are not at the new layout. iRacing Silverstone still a little bit old, it's fair to say now, and it needs a major update. I think we batter on about this, don't we? Every time we come here, that we want to see the new track. Come on, let's have it.
Yeah, it's slightly confusing. I mean, on this version that we've got, turn 1 in real life is now turn 8, and it takes some explaining to people at some point to just tell them why we're still driving on the old track, when every other sim out there does have the updated layout of Silverstone.
Hopefully someday soon we will get that. I know it's on their to-do list, but of course new tracks keep coming in, which I understand. Obviously Le Mans is going to be the next one, but hopefully after that they'll get that finished. Conrad, just taking a look at the stand-ins. Of course, this is after Saturday's races have happened, so some drivers already got 4 races that are counting. So Fernando Guerrero leads on 728. Domingo is in second with 666. They've both got 4. Then in third place you have Daniel Wensin, who's had a great season so far, 610 points. Zoran Jonic is 575. Both those guys in the academy, so sort of working together-ish. Ruslan Sabatov, 574 points. He's also got 4 races counted. Notable mention, Jamie Fluke in 8th place, 485 points with only 2 weeks counted, so very much in the hunt. Victor Rodriguez, 3 races counted, 484, 483 for Ferenc Kern, also on 3 races. Ricardo is also on 3 in rounds. Well, he's 11th place, 457. So still all to play for. Like I say, fair few drivers on 2 races, few on 3. So should see a shift and a change in the standings after this race, I would think.
Yeah, it's always a little bit tricky this early in the season. Some people taking weeks off, but yeah, the magic number is 8 weeks raced. From there on in, they start dropping weeks, and everything starts to level out a little bit more.
Qualifying under the way. In fact, we've not got very long left. How is it looking out there at the moment?
Well, we've got Jamie Fluke making his return. We know he's been putting in strong performances so far this season. He's on pole at the moment with a 122.3. Only sort of half a tenth behind him is Daniel Wensing, and Cleaver Toffoli about 4 tenths behind them in 3rd place. Just trying to see if there's anybody currently on a hot lap. Andre Eisenlaw crossing the line. He's not set a lap time. He's leaving it a little bit late.
Yeah, who else have we got out there? So just those really, isn't it? So a few people finished their time. Jamie's still out there right now, doing this second. You don't have 2 attempts, do you? That's the thing. I was forgetting there. I was back thinking WCS where you have 3 laps. So I'm guessing Jamie's probably just out there circulating around at the moment. Maybe with race fuel in, something like that. Just just getting some preparation in for the race.
Trigurta just elevated himself up the standings into 5th place with a 122.8. Just by beating Daniel Vida there by the narrowest of margins. He's finished his run. Just over 2 minutes left in the session. I suppose most of them, like you say, would have finished their runs. Rimanek, he hasn't set a lap time yet. He said a 122.80. I assume he's coming around to finish his second quali lap. Taking a wide line out of the last corner. On the run down to the start finish. We'll see what his lap time is when he crosses now.
Yeah, Sabatov hasn't set one as well, so there's still a few people. Eisenhower there as well. Oh no, he's just put one in at 124.5. So just Sabatov without the time. Remenik in 4th place. That's him.
Guerrero's just posted his first lap time as well. It was 123.1. That puts him in 9th place. Just looking at the weather, we've got a clear skies, 22 degree ambient temperature, and then the track is 42 degrees Celsius, so nice and warm. And from last season, we were speculating whether one stop was worth it or not. It definitely is. We remember, was it Riley Preston that came through, made a pit stop and drove it through, and took the win on the last lap through the last corner, if I remember correctly.
Made us look very foolish, didn't he? I remember it well. Like, what is he doing? What are you doing, you crazy man? My pit now, it's far too late. I was giving it all large, like I knew what was what, and then boom! Final corner of the race. Made me look like a fool.
No, I mean, he timed it perfectly. Had he pitted a lap later, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have made it. Razlan Savitov in the meantime set a lap time. He's elevated himself into 4th place with a 1 minute 22.799. And yeah, that's a good starting position for him if he keeps it up there. We usually used to see him struggle a little bit more in qualifying, starting a little bit further back, but that's very good for him. Anybody who hasn't finished the lap now is not going to get it in and is not going to improve on their lap time. Time has officially expired.
That is it. Everything done and dusted. Take us through those. Take us through the qualifying standing, please, Conrad.
Right, Jamie Fluke has managed to keep hold of pole position. He starts in 1st place with Daniel Vensing alongside him in 2nd. Kleber Toffoli, very good qualifying for him with a 122.7 in 3rd. Ruslan Sabitov in 4th place. Balas Rumenik in 5th. Will Trigeta in 6th. Daniel Bira in 7th. Leonardo Schmidt in 8th place. David E. Baker in 9th. And Fernando Guerrero in 10th place. You've got Juan Miguel Rodriguez in 11th. Vasilis Gerges in 12th place, Ferenczkin in 13th, Kirill Merkulets in 14th place, with Jorge Marquez in 15th, Dado Upperkak in 16th place, Kurt Crum in 17th, Mark Warmington starts in 18th place, Marco starts in 19th, Victor Rodriguez in 20th, and then the last 3 runners is Stefan Piotrowski in 21st, Robert Harris in 22nd, and Andre Eisenlohr in 23rd. So there's a couple of those names that I will sort out before the end of the race.
You always do a much better job than me, my friend. I really am rubbish.
That's always a little bit tricky when we've got a couple of new guys that we haven't seen in the top splits before.
Yeah, it's good to see actually some new faces. So
usually by the 2nd or the 3rd week, we get used to the names and we get much better at the pronunciation.
Zoran Jonic just posted actually in the chat. He's not racing. I just didn't realise that as well. So, yeah, had a good night out. That's all we will say on that one.
Well, I think we can forgive him for this one, but yeah, his absence obviously presents somebody else with an opportunity to run the top split, and yeah, we'll see how they go.
Here we go then. Lights are out here at Silverstone. Looks like a reasonable start from Fluke. Can't quite see where Wensin is. There we go. There's the camera cuts back in. Fluke leads into turn 1. Wensin comes through in 2nd place. Toffoli holds on to 3rd, but poor start. He's under a little bit of pressure from Remenik. Remenik has got Bida right behind him, followed by Sabatov, and Will tucked up right behind him as well. So good start. No victims in turn 1. Just what we want to see.
Yeah, David E. Baker's lost the 3 places through that whole sequence. He's still falling down into 13th place. Have a look and see if he picked up trouble anywhere. the one guy who's had a massive start is running 15th, 14th place. Victor Rodriguez is up 6 places from where he started. Vasilis Gergis up 2 places as well. He's up into the top 10.
Side by side with his teammate right now as well. Through the exit of Club Corner. Oh, one of the Apex cars just sweeps in there as well. Wants that place. I'm not sure who that is. Is that Baker? No, it's not. It's Opcac, I think. It is indeed.
Yeah, we mentioned Baker dropping a whole bunch of places through the start. He just was really slow off the line, got swamped by multiple people into turn 1. And there was a bit of action behind him with Victor Rodriguez, Marquez. They were all having a whole load of fun on the run down to the chicane just before bridge.
Yeah, there must have been something going on a little further back because Merkelets and Marco, 22nd and 23rd place, way down. Looks like there's some damage on the side of Marco's car there, so a bit of contact somewhere. Not a completely clean race. They'll be a bit frustrated with that, I'm sure.
Yeah, it always happens. The funny thing about Silverstone is I managed or noticed before is because of all the fast corners that you've got, if you've got such a huge clump of cars together, when you come through some of these fast corners, you underestimate how slow they're going if they're fighting for position. It's really easy to just close in on them really quickly and get yourself into a position really where you don't want to be. I was seeing Jamie Fluke tumbling down the standings at the moment. Is that just a glitch?
Just a glitch. Not here. My screen, he's right up there.
Yeah, all is well. It's just my timing screen now playing up. I had him and Toffoli tumbling down the order like a sack of stones.
Those guys starting to separate out a little bit out the front. I think we've got a good race on actually between Fluke and Winston. Toffoli having a good go at it as well, keeping with them at the moment, pulling away from Reminick. So see how those guys go. But I think we're gonna have a great race there. That's that little battle ahead. Is that Guerrero? It is Guerrero on Will round the outside of Will. Will runs him a little bit wide, but Fernando just about holds on to that as well. No contact, good move, gets that completed. Got Leonardo behind them as well, followed by Pash. Good to see him back in the car. Been a little while. Then Rodriguez just tucked up behind them as well. Lost, what was it, A place since that great start? But oh no, sorry, it was Victor, wasn't it, that made the awesome start?
Rodriguez is up 7 places. He made up yet another one after the start. Just looking, Guerrero, he's made up 3 places. From 10, he's run really well. And just looking back from his car, the Trigger just seems that he picked up a little bit of damage somewhere on that front wing. But also, it's not every day that we see such a vividly colored car in the series, with that what I assume is like a turquoise and orange. Certainly stands out.
Yeah, good to see again. Another unique design. Lit Motorsport. There we go. We just caught the logo on there. You'll remember that name, I think, Conrad. Romer Alcala. Yes, his little team there. Good to see Will having a play.
Yeah, and it's yet another appearance that we've got in the Sunday Top Split of a team that it's not one of the bigger ones, not one of the regular names that we're used to seeing. Another something to look out for. Maybe making more appearances for the rest of the season. It'll be nice to see.
Front two getting quite tasty. Half second separate those right now. Winsing dropping to Foley. Well, he doesn't have anything for the front two, but he is pulling away from Reminick as well. That's gaps ways outside the DRS zone now, so he'll be happy with that. And actually, Wensing going quickest. I really need to sort that overlay out, and I will. So, but with a 3.56 as well, and as was announced yesterday as well during the World Championship race, myself and yourself, Conrad, and Andrew Woodhouse, and Adam Bath, we're all going to participate in broadcasting the Pro Series up next season as well, which should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. It's where we can see the fruits, or people bearing the fruits of their labor through the first 3 seasons of the year, and everybody coming together and one big mashup to see who's gonna make a go for those pro licenses.
Kern closing in on Rodriguez there. Scott is in a bit of a sandwich at the moment, but yeah, trying to work his way forward. Came on after qualifying, posted a little message inside the chat. So yeah, I don't think he doesn't seem to do the best in qualifying, does he? He always seems to come through, but just seems to mess that up. But you know, those that are a bit unfamiliar and think, well, they get 2 laps. Not the case with this car. Just the way it uses energy to get the maximum performance out of it. We have to set the power on mode 1, and that in turn means that we only actually get 1 flying lap, because the second lap, well, it's gutless. So it's all or nothing with this car, and yeah, it's a bit frustrating. I know that everybody's screaming for 3 laps, so they get at least 2 laps in. So maybe some changes coming.
Sorry, Walter Goethe just getting very sideways coming out of turn 1. He's lost a little bit of time to Leandro Schmidt behind him. Is he gonna have the DRS? Yeah, DRS is wide open. That's something we haven't really spoken about. We know you guys in the World Championship raced around Silverstone, you know, quite a while ago. But still, the DRS, is it any more, any less effective than it is around any other tracks that we've done so far this season?
I mean, they did tweak it for the season. And it is a tiny bit more effective than it was. Not huge, and they've reduced the amount that you can be on the button as well, or the amount of ERS that you can have and deploy for a lap. So it does make it a little bit easier to overtake, but not massively. You still need to have a really good run to do it. The slipstream is far underdone, so that's something that they need to work on. I mean, often we will watch real races where somebody will go past, like down the Kemmel straight, and actually they'll come back under the pressure because the driver behind has got the slipstream, but we cannot do that at all currently with the current build. The guy just still carries on pulling away. The draft has very, very little effect. So I think once they get that bit ironed out, actually the overtaking will be much more realistic, as what we see on the TV. Because obviously that's our only point of reference, and the sort of, you know, the general draft and things like that, and we'll see overtaking, you know, much more commonplace, even in just sort of draft zones without the DRS.
See, Jorge Martinez has moved himself up in a place again, passing Dado Opakak. He's in 15th. Opakak falls back to 16th place. It's a nice little battle developing towards the front here between Daniel Bidar as well as Rimanek. The car just behind them is Razlan Sabitov, all running in fairly close proximity to each other. Or Wensing and Fluke is pulling away at the front.
Yeah, it looks to me as if they're desperately trying to get back into the DRS zone. Well, Reminick certainly of Toffoli here, and I think he's just about to do it. We'll have to check the timings as they come across the line. We're looking for obviously less than a second. I think he's just inside that right now. Yeah, very close, but just in there, 0.9 of a second. So should get DRS this time. Once he comes out of Chapel.
So watching some of these drivers come through turn 1 or Cops Corner, and obviously with this track not being the most up-to-date one, the exit of that corner is rather tricky. Once you go over that curb, you've got a little bit of AstroTurf, and then you've got gravel before you get tarmac again, and that little piece of gravel has claimed many drivers before. It's not like modern day where when they run wide they've just got a whole load of tarmac to work with.
And even the Astro is actually very bumpy, isn't it? That's the thing, I think, that catches a lot of people out.
Yeah, that's the thing. You work so hard to control the car, and because you're expecting it to spin, and then that bumpiness hits you. It's just the whole other element of surprise, and I think that's why people try and overcorrect the car when that gets a little bit loose, and you see them spinning. But Marquez and Opakak still going at it, right for 15th place.
Up the inside, and Brooklands has to leave a little bit of room around the outside of Lafayette. We saw earlier on in the race as well. That will give you a good exit from the corner, but they're still side by side. No DRS or anything here. Straight on sprint into Cop's corner, and Opakak gets round the outside. Doesn't quite get the same drive off the corner, however. So Marquez has the opportunity to come back and decides better of it through Beckett's, Maggots and Chapel, but loses an awful lot of time on the entry there. Really got out of it far too much there. But yeah, it's going to we'll use the DRS to close back up again. And that's a great little battle. Will, again, just Leandro there closing in, on Will. He's got Pash behind him as well. Those guys putting a bit of pressure on him.
There's quite a few little battles just starting to develop. Leandro Schmidt is right on. He made a little mistake coming through chicane. He's going to have Gerges all over the back of him. He's come through the final section of corners. That gap was a little bit bigger. Gerges managed to close up a whole lot. He gets a good exit here out of the last corner. He might be able to make a move up into turn 1.
Yeah, very good line. It's all about who's going to use all the power they want here. Up the inside, gets it done.
Ah, don't run wide.
Oh. Not too much room given there between the two drivers. Obviously work together somewhat in the academy, know each other. But yeah, a little bit of respect given, enough room where it needed to be. And Pash up and into 9th place. He'll now go about trying to catch Will ahead. Will has broke the DRS with those two having that little battle as well. So what he wants, more of that. Battle up the front still. Oh! Rushworth spins it coming out of the Abbey chicane. Gets the car rotated around. He should rejoin in second, will he? No, I think he's going to drop behind this pack. Excuse me. Toffoli gets past him as well. And who is that? That's Bieder. Bieder on the inside. Zabatov trying. Fluke trying to hold it. His tyres are absolutely cooked right now. Just lit those rears up, and yeah, he's going to be under major pressure now, I think, for a couple of laps. Big mistake from Jamie.
Yeah, you would have cooked the tyres there as well, so he's going to start struggling with them.
Almost a guaranteed pit stop for Jamie now, I think.
I think you were so shocked by that spin, Jamie Fluke into Jamie Rushworth.
Oh, sorry. Did I do that? Oh.
There's multiple big Jamies around in iRacing.
Well, in that case, Jamie Fluke will be happy that I said that. I was just all giddy, that's all.
It wasn't him that spun it. No. Rushworth jumped in the car, spun it for him, and then stuck him back in.
That's it.
Now we're just about in on the 11th lap. We've had our first guy in the pit stops as well. Jorge Marquez has been in and out again. It just looked like a normal tyre stop. It's fairly early into the race to make a stop.
Very early, you'd have to think. But I think the tyres will make it from there, no problem. So, but yeah, maybe just wanted to get out of that pack. Felt like he was losing a bit of time. So I was just about to say, Wenson really starting to put a bit of pressure on Jamie, and I think Jamie must have just started to feel that a little bit. But you know, that's like really a massive gift for Daniel. That's exactly what he wanted to see, because he didn't look like he had anything to get past Fluke there. So, you know, it is difficult to overtake here, and you know, when you're a very, very similar pace to the person ahead, you just get massive dirty air through the you know, this first sector, and yeah, but right now he's got an 8.4 second lead. Those guys were flying away at the front, and he can just really set the car in cruise control now.
Leandro Schmidt is having had some troubles through a chicane as well. He took to the grass. He didn't quite spin it, but he did run deep into the corner and had to take to the grass. He is down into 15th place. So all that hard work he had to do earlier to get past Gerges, that's all gone. And he's going to have to start all over again.
A corner is one of the toughest ones. You come out of that corner and there's a nasty little bump just on the inside there, and it's where you want to take it, the line. We're looking at Pash here having maybe a move on Will into Abbey, but yeah, you hit that inside curb and then you catch the one on the right as well, and it's just a little bit of, there's like a little bit of a bump there, and if you're really pushing hard, it can get the car just a little bit loose. So you sort of have to be aware of it, and you can either, you can sort of set the car up to take that, but it does compromise in other areas of the circuit. So most drivers will not worry about it too much, and they'll just sort of be a little bit cautious going through there. Make sure they get the car straightened up as they go over it. But yeah, in this case, yeah, Jamie just making the mistake there, and other drivers obviously have had similar issues.
Now, Opperkak just went through there as well. A similar thing, ran too deep, went straight across the gravel. He lost a lot less time than the rest of them did. But yeah, Kurt Crum, Opperkak, David Baker and Andre Eisenlaw, they're having a cracker at the moment.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at this battle between Pash, because he's got the DRS on Will right now. Moves up into Stowe corner. Fairly standard stuff. So it was close enough that he could use all of the ERS and DRS to good effect. But yeah, let's switch to that battle, because it's got pretty tasty now.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons Opperkak made his mistake as well. David Baker was lurking in the background, as he is now. Gert Crum and Opperkak was running side by side going in there, and Opperkak obviously made his mistake. He had to slow down. He's since...
Oh, Fluke just got rogered from behind. That will be his race done. Who was that who absolutely smashed him? I'm not entirely sure. Let's take a look at it back, because going into Brooklyn,
Sabatov.
I don't know. Yeah, was it Sabatov? Whew. Let's go on board. From bad to worse for Fluke.
Oh no, it's just... Where was the brakes?
Well, yeah. Not much you can say about that one, I think.
It's almost like a little bit of deja vu. I think I saw something similar.
Leader around as well now through Stowe. He was having a little battle as well. Let's take a little look back at that. We only just caught the tail of that.
Oh, that's a tap there with Rumenik. Yeah, Bidder going up the inside. Rumenik trying to squeeze him as hard as he could. Unfortunately, they just came together a little bit. Rumenik getting a half spin and losing a place. But yeah, that cost Bidder big time.
Dropping like flies at the moment. Yeah, Fluke has pitted now. I don't know if he's going to be able to continue or not, but we will see. Going to be damage limitation for him more than anything. How costly that early spin turned out to be as well. Put him right in the middle of that pack. He was struggling to move forward. Right, let's take a stock, Conrad, where everybody is right now. You got Wensin 10.7 seconds up the road. Foley Guerrero up to third. Then you got Remenik, Sabatov, Pash up into 6th, Bida down to 7th, Wills in 8th, Rodriguez in 9th, Ferenc Kern has made it into 10th, Victor Rodriguez in 11th, Leandro is in back, well, sort of back up to 12th. Opakak in 13th. Baker is 14th. Eisenhower 15th. He's having a great little run from, was it like 23rd or 22nd on the grid or something like that?
He started dead last.
Yeah.
He's made up 8 places so far.
And Stefan there in 16th. Mark Warmington 17th. He stayed about where he was. So they're all pretty close. That's a good little fight sort of going on right now as well. You can see everybody can sort of in touch with everybody else right there as well. So could be a fair few position changes towards the end of the race as pedals? As tyres start to get worse.
Pedals might get worse as well. Brakes go. Just an interesting point on Jamie Fluke. He's obviously had that hit and made a pit stop. He got a new front wing, got new tires. Currently, the people in front of him that's within the pit stop range is everybody up until 12th place. It's not all is not lost for him, as we see Fernando Guerrero and Daniel Bitter into the pits as well. Yeah, he can still score himself a half decent finish in this race.
4.1 for Guerrero. What was Bieder? Let's take a look. Oh, that's long. 5.1, very long stop for just a set of tyres. Didn't see him miss his box or anything, but yeah, that's like some of the longest we've seen for a while.
Oh, Hussar has just gone past him
Marquez.
as he came out of the pits.
Yeah, so that's how much time he's lost with the spin and everything. So. Reminick. Oh, I was about to say Reminick's in as well. He's not in. He's in. Well, he is. He's in the wall. So let's just see what happened there. Ah, don't tell me it's another tap. It's got. I think this is Sabatov. Is it just a self spin coming out of
He
club?
did a Marcus Ericsson.
Ah, easily done. Oh, buff. Yep. Just gets a little loose coming out of there, and you can react, and then all of a sudden the car just picks up traction again and just spits you out to the left. Nothing you can do whatsoever.
Rodriguez in the pits as well. I think sometimes we underestimate how difficult some of the corners are on this track. Braking zone from Vale into Club Corner or into that chicane is really difficult, and then as you come out of Club Corner, as we just saw, it's really easy to lose the back end, and then the Abbey chicane. Obviously, we've seen multiple people run through there. Funny enough, again, I keep referring back to this. It seems like the series are following each other in terms of tracks, as the Pro 2 GTs are around here this week as well. And I've been hammering it around here in the 4 GT, and all those corners, it's brilliant. That car, well, maybe it's because that's a big tank, but yeah, 4 GT is definitely planted through all those corners. No problem with the curbs either.
Yeah, it's always been a tough corner in sort of the high performance cars. I drove obviously the old car here, this one, the Indy car as well. A little bit tough coming out of that corner. Yeah, just got to be very, very careful through there. And you could see in the real Grand Prix today they were having to work the wheel massively. And I know the track was a little damp to start off with, but even when there was a dry line there, they were still, just seesawing at the wheel, trying to get the power down through there. I think that's the difference. What we have right now is that they can do that to some extent. I mean, we can, but it seems a lot more drivable to do that compared to what we have right now. I don't know if that's a slightly different profile in the corner, because obviously it has changed somewhat. So it's probably just a little bit more open than what we have. We're a bit tighter to get the maximum speed out of it. But yeah.
Oh, we just had Ferenc Kern and Victor Rodriguez in the pits as well. They've just come out again. Line astern.
Yeah, half a second between them. Bieder's got past Marquez as well, so low pit stop and the little mistake he's had did cost him a little bit, but he's back up and ahead.
Well, update on Jamie Fluke. He's now back into 18th place. Still a long way back for him, but slowly but surely, as some of the guys are making their pit stops, he's gaining a few spots here and there.
Yeah, I think he should be able to. Yeah, should be able to sort of recover a reasonable result out of this. Doesn't look like he's got any sort of damage. Won't be the result he would have hoped for. Wenson's still out there, still lapping fairly comfortable times, 24.7 last lap. He hasn't got anything to worry about behind. All the traffic's sort of keeping, Jamie at bay. So, and with the 2 spins he's had, he's fairly clear out there. 13.5 seconds. Is that a few more drivers into the pits? It is. Yep, Stefan's into the pits. Leandro and Andre as well, all 3 drivers. 4.1 seconds and 4.2 as for the drivers. So, yeah, very, very close. Nothing gained or lost really for any of them there.
Yeah, it's nice to be seeing. Maybe last season drivers were a bit on the fence on whether to make a pit stop or not. This time round,
as Rodriguez goes for a move on Kern. Kern holds the outside line through Stowe. A little bit earlier on the brakes. We'll have the inside, Rodriguez around the outside. Can't quite manage to make it stick. So Lorenz stays in 13th place right now. A lot of drivers still haven't pitted. I think they were going to try and risk this on a no stop. A few of them here. So this is going to be interesting to see how this all pans out.
I should say that Gerges and Trigurta is coming into the pits. That would mean the top 3 hasn't been in the pits. Opakak, Baker and Merkulets are the ones that haven't made a pit stop. There's about, was it 5 of them? 6 of them that hasn't made a pit stop.
Mark Warmington having some problems as well. Sorry Mark, just to point that out, down in 20th place, 65 seconds back from the lead at the moment. He has pitted of course as well. But yeah, great little shot actually. Still a lot of cars in very close proximity. Will comes out just in front of this this little group that we were watching. Dave Baker still hasn't pitted either. He's up to 6th place. I don't know if he can try and make these work or pit in the next moment or two. Fernando Guerrero just put a move on him, drops him down. Guerrero is the first of the drivers to pit. He is lapping 0.6 of a second faster than our leader. Nowhere near enough to close that up. But if those times all of a sudden become, 1.5 seconds, which we have seen, then it might be, it might still be an interesting race. It won't because he's into the pits. Wenson in. He missed his box, mind you, so slow pit for him. But it's not going to matter. He had what, an 8.5, 10 seconds, something like that lead. Fairly large.
Yeah, and pit stop is mandatory when Cleaver Toffoli comes into the pits halfway through the race to take new tires.
That's it. Yeah.
I think he's one of the guys we see on a weekly basis that keeps the no stopper open as an option, and more often than not pits a lot later than he should. If at all. But yeah, everybody's coming in now. Merkulets is in, David Baker is in as well. So the only 2 people out on track who hasn't made a pit stop is Opakak and Ruslan Safitov.
Yeah, maybe a curveball for those 2. 19 laps to go. Sabatos laps times, yeah, they're reasonable. They're staying fairly consistent, but everybody is catching him up quite considerably now.
It just depends on what he thinks he can do through the rest of the race. He's only got 19 laps left to go, but he's into the pits, so obviously not thinking that he's gonna keep hold of it. Let's just see whereabouts he might come out. Somewhere around Daniel Biddo, who's running in 6th at the moment.
I think he's going to have a slow stop, isn't he? Because the contact with Jamie, surely they're going to change his front wing here. Unfortunately, it's mandatory. Yeah, exactly that. Car gets jacked up a bit funny. There goes the wing. So it's a killer. 7.5 seconds, that's 4 seconds that he'll not be happy about losing, because car doesn't seem to get affected that massively. Where does he come out? Like he comes out just ahead of this Rodriguez. Nice.
Yeah, he's just
It's
behind
just Marquez,
Marquez.
isn't it? So that early stop for Marquez worked well.
His tyres is obviously going to be a lot older. His tyres is 11 laps older than that
Loses
of
a place straight away.
Sabatov. And there we go. But yeah, that extra time in the pit stop cost Sabatov a whole lot. Was it not? If he had a normal pit stop, he would have been really close to Daniel Bitter coming out of the pits. As it is now, there's a 4-second gap.
Guerrero just 10 seconds behind Wensin once all the pit stops have worked their way out. Hopefully the times will update on our screen when they cross the start-finish line, but live timing says 10 seconds, so he closed up a little bit with the early pit stop as well. But I dare say Daniel just stretched that out now that he's on the fresher rubber. But yeah, Opakak still out there in third place, doing his thing. He's got a bit of wing damage he has on there as well, so he's going to lose a lot of time if he pits. So maybe he's going to risk the curveball with trying to stay out.
Yeah, he doesn't really have anything to lose. He started all the way back in 16th place, and obviously through some good running and not pitting, he's up into third. If you look at the pit stop windows, roughly between 25 and 27 seconds. Look down the timesheets. That if he pits now, that's gonna even with the he's gonna have to take a nose change as well. That'll put him way back, 19th, 20th place.
Yeah.
So he's just stay out. It's not worth his while coming into the pits.
Yeah, just got to hold on to it, hasn't he, and see what he is. Just conserve those tyres. Reduce the engine mode if he needs to, just so he doesn't get any wheel spin. Use the extra power sort of in the straight line once he's got the traction. Lots you can do to try and preserve the tyres. Little gap starting to form. A couple of little battles. Will trying to well, actually I was about to say trying to put pressure on Jamie, but I would think that's more likely that Jamie's just got himself past. We didn't see him get by Rodriguez or Kern, so but yeah, up to 10th place. I would say people still in range. He could possibly still get. I don't think a top 5 is on for Jamie here, but I think he might be able to get back up to Sabatov, which would be interesting for sure.
Yeah, he is obviously a little bit of a disadvantage with having to make the earlier pit stop. His lap times are looking good. Last laps are 1:24.2, but he's done 10 laps on the second set of tires. Rodriguez in front of him has already done seven laps, and Marquez has done 13 laps already. So yeah, Marquez of course was the first guy into the pit stop phase. So he's not that disadvantaged with the people that's racing around him in terms of tire age. So yeah, he's got a good chance to get up a lot further than we initially thought he would.
Wensin pulled out 1.2 seconds on that lap, I believe it was.
Yeah, it was also fastest lap, 1:23.843.
He's just flying out there right now. He's gone quicker again as well. He just crossed the start-finish line, flashed up on the screen, 1:23.645 there. So yeah, doesn't need to go that fast, but yeah, he's obviously enjoying it out there right now.
Yeah, that fastest lap would have put him on 15th place on the grid as well. So not a bad lap at all.
Bida closing in on the Foley. Is that a good old run so far to Foley? I think he still might get a podium out of this one as well. He's gonna have to hold off from Daniel Bida, who's no slouch, but 0.7 of a second quicker than Dado ahead, and Bida on the inside pulls that move. Looks good. Finishes it off as well.
Toffoli saw him coming and left him a lot of space. I'm surprised Bida was that keen to go for an overtake considering what happened earlier. And
Will and Rodriguez Very, very close. Fluke's just got past those two. Moved himself up into ninth. Martinez is next up the road. 1 second away.
Trigato having a little look at Rodriguez as well.
Yeah, nothing coming this time by. Just dropped back a little bit through the final sector there of sort of Brooklands and Luffield. Boy, Martinez, yeah, definitely going to feel a bit of pressure in a moment. And, well, I say a moment, very, very quickly. Fluke absolutely tears up to the back of him, going through Beckett's, Maggots and Chapel. Don't think he's going to be close enough to get a move done. I didn't even see his DRS pop open there, so not sure what that was about.
I think I saw a little opening towards the end of the straight, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe sometimes you get so focused on what's going on in front of you that you forget that of some of the other tools that's available to you in the car. That's definitely open now.
Yeah. Yeah, perhaps just forgot a little bit there, but yeah, it'll be close enough, I think, to make a move this next time by. All Martinez can make sure that he does is he just needs to nail basically Chapel. He needs to get such a good run out of there that makes it very difficult, even if he sort of backs some of the drivers up in the section before, so that he can just sort of get the jump. Follow a driver, you have to sort of think a little tactically somewhere. Good line through Cops. Luke obviously gets a whole load of dirty air through there, and he'll get even more through this sector now. Ooh. Closes in, mind you. Little mistake from Martinez. That's pretty much going to be him, I think, done with the DRS and everything. It's going to be like candy from a baby. Indeed it is. There goes Fluke.
Yeah, Martinez didn't even bother moving over to the right to try and cover the inside line. Would have been no point. Fluke was way past him before they even got into the braking zone.
Head. Sorry, Conrad. Then that's Pash taking Oppercat. So yeah, Dado starting to drop down the order now. I was right. Those two were fighting earlier on, weren't they, as well? Is that right? I'm sure they were. So it definitely seems like the stop is actually a lot quicker, because normally we see them coming together actually much closer towards the end of the race. I don't know if Oppercat's had a bad lap somewhere or something like that, but yeah, all of a sudden just dropping very quickly.
Yeah, Oppercat had that issue earlier in the race, but he was fighting with someone else at the time. As I remember, yeah, he was fighting with the likes of Kurt Crum and David Baker.
Oh, that was right, yep. And Leonardo, wasn't it, as well? Those two were quite close at one point, yeah. Right,
it's not...
sorry, go on.
I don't think it's all lost for Oppercat at the moment. He's very far back. No, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong battle. Yeah, it's not all lost for him. He a couple of these guys, it looks, if you look at the cars in front of him, they seem to close up to each other a little bit. So if he keeps it nice and tidy for the rest of the race, the guys in front of him starts slugging it out and start getting into incidents, he's got every chance of minimizing the hurt that he's going to feel for the rest of his 12 laps as Jamie Fluke flies past him and has another little moment going into that chicane.
Kurt Crum with some issues as well in his Haas liveried car there. Looks very nice, but yeah, now down to 21st. Not what he would have wanted at all. Look at this pack now. These guys are really close. You would think this is almost the start of the race as well. Martinez behind Oppercat, so yeah, Dado's just getting slower and slower. 127 now. He's like almost 3 seconds a lap off the pace. Tyres are gone. I don't know about you, Conrad, but 3 seconds a lap off the pace, it'd be beneficial for him to pit. He's not going to drop as much time as he is by being this far off. This whole pack's going to come steaming past.
Yeah, I don't know if he made any mistakes, but he did have to keep the door open for Fluke, and on that previous lap as he came flying through. Martinez is going to make this stick. Fluke might even have a look down into this braking zone. No, he's not. Opakak actually getting a decent exit coming out of Stowe.
Oh, it's very, very close now. Everybody here. This is battle for 7th all the way down to 14th place.
There we go.
Well,
that settles a bit of that. Just have a quick look. That was Martinez and Opakak. Well, I was saying Opakak should just keep it clean and tidy for the rest of the race. Hopefully some of the positions will come his way. That is certainly not the way to do it.
Didn't quite leave enough room, but then also in return, Martinez just insisted on coming back on when the car was there. What do you do?
I mean, there was I can see why Opakak didn't leave the space, but Martinez was running out of track on the outside as well.
I mean, you have to leave a little bit of room, yes, but also if the driver's clearly not leaving you room and you turn to come on, you're going to hit him. Do you just hit him and go, "Oh, you didn't leave me room"? Race over, isn't it? I don't see. For me, I would have took to the grass and rejoined afterwards, and lived and fought on and come back afterwards.
Wave the angry fist.
Yeah. As soon as they bring in hand tracking, I tell you, in the sim, the better. There'll be more than an angry fist.
Yeah, some people's hand would never be on the steering wheel. I saw a similar incident in one of the Kia series that we cover last season, and people very much put the blame on the driver that didn't leave the space. Also, I'll make a case here for Opakak. We've got the track, and the track surface, or the racing surface, is defined by the white lines. Martinez clearly there had gone off the track and was trying to rejoin the track, and took another driver out.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, would have completed the overtake off track. So you're right in that sense as well. I think had we had live officials, I think they would have a pretty dim view on it as well. So.
And that's the one thing we in iRacing tend to do. We go out on a track and we find the place where we can run, where we don't get an off track or a 1x. That is one of the corners where you can run extremely wide and leave the racing surface without picking up an off track. And might be something to look at for the future. Because obviously, if dare I say it, if there was a 1x on offer there, a lot less people would be running wide there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think you only get it there if you kiss the grass, don't you, on the way back across? I think you're still out there while you'd be on the grass, then you get it. So.
I honestly won't know. I don't think I ever carry enough speed coming out of that corner to run that wide.
Been for Leandro there as well. He was on the tail of that little pack that we were watching. Just drops himself 4.4 seconds back. What have we got? 9 laps left. He might be able to close back in. They're having a good old fight. Rodriguez very, very close to Ferenz. Maybe an opportunity for an overtake this time. Different lines through Beckett's. It looks like Ferenz got slightly better exit. We'll still get the DRS, I believe. It's going to be straightforward for Rodriguez. Tries to go around the outside of Stowe. Oh, car's a little bit loose, so I think Ferenz is going to get the drive. Although they're still side by side going into Vale. And in the end, Ferenz decides he's not going to try and hold it around the outside. And concedes the position there. Rodriguez yeah, gets that overtake done. Good, yeah, good sort of aggressive driving around the outside of Stowe there.
Yeah, it was a brilliant piece of racing by the both of them. We haven't spoken much about Frans Kern. Today's had a little bit of a quiet one, but yeah, more than making up for it through going through that corner side by side with Rodriguez, and yeah, nobody getting into each other, and it just looks like Rodriguez coming off the corner, got a nice drive straight down to the chicane, and had the inside line. And he's immediately pulled a handy little gap back to Kern as well. Immediately about 0.7 of a second there. And making his way up to, who's in front of him? Rodriguez. Who's, as they pitted around about the same time, so it's not like Rodriguez is going to have any less tire than him. But yeah, Rodriguez stuck behind Walter Goethe at the moment.
Yeah, very close. Rodriguez and Will. Oh, he has a little blink just as he goes into Stowe there as well. That'll, yeah, that'll give you something to worry about. Will's like, where is he? Doesn't quite appear on the inside, so not too bad.
That's likely something we haven't seen a lot of so far this season, is people with massive connection problems. Here and there it's been an issue, but not nearly as bad as we had at points through previous seasons.
Who was it? Was it season 1 that just was going nuts? I can't remember who it was now. But
I'm trying to come up with a name as well.
The whole race, I'm sure of it.
It's really something like that is really offering. Victor Rodriguez closing right up to the back of the other Rodriguez as they come through the last corner.
Excuse me for a second, just while I deal with a little bit of interference.
One thing I wanted to touch upon is that the line you take through through Luffield, that last corner. We've saw Mark Webber discuss it in the real life feed today as well. I mean, you see some people sort of run as Victor Rodriguez gets well out of shape coming through Stowe. Yeah, coming back to that, some people run almost an oval type of line through there, a little V shape. Run deep into the corner, get the car turned, and get a nice run back onto the main straight. A lot of other people just taking a lot of a tighter, sort of hug the curb around the corner. Any particular difference and time gained or lost by taking either line, or is it just personal preference?
Yeah, I think it depends how you got the car set up as well. If the car's set up to be, you know, extremely quick in the high speed stuff, so got great change of direction, maybe a bit stiffer, doesn't quite give you the support in the slow speed stuff, then you run a little bit wider into Luffield. You take a bit more speed in, so you'll gain a bit of time there. But then, of course, you've got a much wider corner and a straighter exit as well, so the car will be a little bit more stable that way. You'll carry a bit more speed off the corner. So I think we saw that in the real Grand Prix as well, that drivers taking that. It looks like they're going to come under a bit of pressure, but and they do lose a fraction of time. It's something they give up for being quicker elsewhere on the circuit, but I think that's why we see them do that in real life, just how they sort of compromise the car somewhat. They want to make sure they conserve the tyres so that they don't get a nasty little surprise. When you come that tighter line off of it, you try and hold the apex. It is definitely faster that way, but you put a lot more load under the rear, on the rears, and it's so easy for the car just to snap coming out of there. And no, it's on the. I know certainly the old car. It was one of the hardest corners that we had to deal with.
Oh, one guy who hasn't given up on the top 10 is Frans Kern. Saw Victor Rodriguez pass him a couple of laps ago, but he's managed to stick there right in the DRS zone. He gets a little wiggle on the run down to Bridge.
Yeah, potentially there could be an 8th place on here for Frans if you can get past these guys, if they carry on battling, as Rodriguez has a potential move on Will there, but just doesn't come off and loses a whole bunch of time. Victor Rodriguez just behind him. Sort of gets checked up a little bit, so all three of them drop back from Will for a second.
Daniel Vensing in the meantime, as I can't even remember. I think I had about a 13-second gap before the pit stop. He's opened that up. It's just under 22 seconds.
Yep,
So
checked
he's.
out.
I hope he's got a picnic basket in the back of that car. Park it up somewhere, have a little cup of tea and a biscuit. Carry on his merry way.
Yeah, it just doesn't need to push out there at all, and he's not pushing actually. To be honest, last lap of 25.1, so he's just really taking it easy, making sure he makes no mistakes, and he'll take this victory. Reasonable strength of field. Oh, the two teammates very close, side by side, with each other there as well. Change of position. Victor Rodriguez up and into 9th place.
Yeah, with Miguel Rodriguez getting a little bit, or getting out of shape again. He is running wide. He's going to come under pressure from Franz Kern as well.
Yeah, I wonder if those rear tyres are just starting to scream a little bit. Mainly, you know, it's the right-handers that are really tricky. So coming out of those and going into those as well with the high-speed section. Most of the load going on the left around Silverstone.
Yeah, he's lost a incredible amount of distance through those first two corners to Victor as well.
Yeah, will just be in DRS. It's going to have saved him, I think. Otherwise, I think Friends might have been able to get a bit of a run. But as it is, they're just going to sort of maintain as they are. Luke catching Pash up by about a second a lap, but it's just not going to be enough at this stage in the race, unfortunately. Sabatov very close to Foley, 0.6 of a second. Bida comfortably in 3rd place now. Can't do anything about Guerrero in 2nd. Good result for Guerrero, obviously leading the championship right now. Obviously done the 4 races. I don't quite know where this will put Winston. I think it'll probably jump him back ahead, but still, good clutch of points. Just what he needs.
Yeah, certainly driving it back up. I think like I said earlier in the race, I thought he would be able to get himself back up to about 12th place. Made it back up to 7th. A brilliant recovery drive.
Leandro having another little spin. He's had some moments today. Race that he'll want to forget. Still in 13th place. Car number 19. So that says to me that actually he shouldn't be too disappointed with this race, and he might not gain iRacing, but it's not going to be a massive loss if it is anything.
Yeah, it's all about having a bit of perspective when you get into these high strength of field races. Today's SOF just under 4,100, so it's got 23 guys in the race as well. So some good points on offer today. Yeah, getting in here, I think he's a first timer in the Sunday broadcasted strength of field race. And yeah, just setting yourself reasonable targets. If I was in their shoes, I'd certainly be happy with the 13th place. We've got some very quick people in here that race this particular time slot week in and week out. And another guy that's going to be, we've got a few guys that's going to be extremely happy with a day's work. Should they not run into any trouble before the end of the race? One of them, 2nd place, Fernando Guerrero. He started in 10th place, he's running in 2nd. He had a brilliant one. Daniel Bida made up 4 places as well. Gerges, he's up 6 places from where he started. And man of the moment, Victor Rodriguez, started down in 20th place. He's running in 9th.
It just goes to show, you have a bad qualifying. It does hurt you somewhat, but you can work your way back forward. Good pit stop strategies and things like that can all make a difference. Ferenz definitely has an opportunity to move back into the top 10. He seems to be struggling quite a bit through the high speed section right now, but certainly Rodriguez ahead of him has lost the DRS of his teammates, so he's got one more lap to try and get close. Oh, very close for Sabatov and Toffoli now. Just 0.2 of a second separate them as they went into the Abbey chicane. Lost a little bit of time through there. Our leader takes the white flag, so just one more lap for him. just stay with this for a second before we switch over.
Well, Sabatov and Tofolia is coming up to some lap cars as well. We've got Marco running in 19th place, just coming across the start-finish line now.
Peter's only 1.6 behind Guerrero too, so he's run him down quite a lot in this race, but not going to get an opportunity to get by. Sabatov not close enough through the S's, tries to close in a little bit, gets a tenth of a second, loses it through the second half of the complex there. He's half a second back, so he'll just close in down the straight. It's not going to be enough. Over to our leader because he's about to finish the race. Great drive from him, no mistakes. He had a bit of competition in this race in Jamie Fluke. Put Fluke under pressure, made that mistake coming out of Abbey. And from there, Winston took the lead and just hasn't looked back. Great drive from him.
Yeah, very solid, no mistakes whatsoever. We've still got this battle going on between Sabatov and Toffoli. Sabatov having a look into the final chicane, but that would have been very optimistic. Toffoli just needs to hit his lines here. And he's got this done as they come up to the back marker as well. I'm sure he's too far ahead to make any difference. Oh, Sabatov trying a wider entry into the last corner. He's not going to have enough. Toffoli should hold on to take 4th place here, and so he does as well. Yeah, with Sabatov in 5th place. I turned into a really good race on the last 2 laps.
Yeah,
Gerges
second
just
to 5th, very close. When you look at it, there's only like a couple of seconds separating those, so very good.
Yeah, Vasilis Gerges in the end just had a little bit too much in the back for Jamie Fluke to catch him and maybe go for 6th place. A great drive by him as well. He started 12 originally, and everybody crossing the line. Leandro Schmidt coming through and 13th place.
Still a battle going on out there, all the way to the line. This is between Eisenor and Stefan. Just a couple of tenths of a second separate those, but Andre takes that one. He'll be happy with that. I mean, he was up a lot higher at one stage, so did drop back into the pack, but still started dead last and finished 16th. Car number 18, move forward. Good race from him, I'd say.
I think that's everybody across the line.
Take us through the final standings then, please, sir.
And then we've got Daniel Vensing taking the win today after starting 2nd on the grid. 2nd place, Fernando Guerrero. Great drive by him after starting in 10th place. Daniel Bitter coming home in 3rd with Kleber Toffoli in 4th place, shortly followed by Ruslan Sabatov in 5th, Vasilis Gerges in 6th place, Jamie Fluke, great recovery drive by him to finish 7th, Victor Rodriguez in 8th, Will Trigurta in 9th place, Juan Miguel Rodriguez in 10th place, Friends Kern finishing in 11th, 12th place we had Jorge Martinez, 13th was Leandro Schmidt, David Bacon 14th, Kirill Merkulets in 15th place, followed by Andre Eisenloh in 16th, who had a fight to the finish with Stefan Pietrovsky in 17th, Mark Warmington finishing in 18th, and we had Marco in 19th place, Kurt Crum finishing in 20th, and we had 3 retirees, Dedo Opakak, coming together with, I think it was one of the Rodriguez boys earlier on. He finished down 21st. Riminek, at a moment, he finished in 22nd, 24 laps down, and Robert Harris, 26 laps down and 23rd place.
Right, thank you, sir. Good race. Enjoyed that one as well. I was hoping for some fireworks up front, but we didn't have that. But dominant from Daniel Winston. But great battle for the podium positions there, really. And there was only, like say, sort of seconds separating the 4 cars there as well. So series is getting closer and closer all the time. Just have a little refresh of the points, see if they have updated. I doubt it, but we'll try.
Yeah, well, what's nice about today is I think we are sort of a third through the season now, and we're starting to see a little wind up that's building up to the Pro Series for next season. And also, everybody didn't hop into the pits at exactly the same time. When I see the second stint lengths here range from 30 laps down to 19, so there was a good pit window, and I think that that allowed some of the guys to close up on each other towards the end of the race, and we had quite a few guys out there that were fighting for position still on the last lap or two.
Yeah, I think that's what we want to see come the Pro Series as well. Obviously, 100% race distances, so. If the tyre stays as true, it'll be very, very similar to what we're seeing right now in the WCS. So it's going to be a straightforward one stop, and there is a reasonable window to do that. I hope there is some tyre changes, I have to say, for season 4, but we will. We will see. We know the car is getting a bit of an update because there was this asymmetrical handling that's been discovered in all of the cars. So it could be. Certainly going to be a little tweak somewhere, so we'll have to see how that affects the car, and then and then of course we're desperately waiting for a second tire compound as well.
A second tire compound for the win, and and obviously the hand signals, that would just be tremendous. But up till then, just quickly jumping to the Pro Series, has there been any word on the schedule as yet? Do you know?
No, nothing at the moment.
Nothing.
We don't even have a date of when the first race is going to be. All we know is it's going to be sometime in season 4. I would expect what it will probably be is it'll start halfway through season 4 and end somewhere through season 1, much like the regular Pro Series used to do, just so that it doesn't run over with the existing WCS right now, because obviously those drivers that get their license taken away will want to compete, I'm sure. But yeah, the exact dates and the schedule, nothing has been released yet. I'm sure Shannon will post something for them soon.
Yes, soon. That's certainly something that we can look forward to for the rest of the season, and hopefully we can give the guys watching every Sunday a little bit of an update as we get the information coming through.
Right, thank you everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button for me and do all the goodness. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that as well. And watch this space for more races coming to the channel. I think Kia Club Series is tonight. If you like a little bit of action there. Bit of touring car stuff, then go check that out. Be a lot of fun. About 35 Kias racing around. Adam Barth in the commentary booth for that one. I'm not sure who or where they are actually. I think Paul Smith is back in the booth as well, so should be good. But always a pleasure, Conrad. Thank you for joining me here. Next week is Interlagos, so that should be another interesting race, and definitely strategies could come into play there.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Interlagos, love that track.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. See you in a week's time. Have fun. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.